Hello, this is Compound Interest Stock Guy, and today in this video I'm going to be talking about the markets. I'm going to talk about the cannabis industry, and I'm going to be talking about commodities booming. I'm going to be talking about platinum. I'm going to be talking about gold, nickel, and I'm going to be talking about Medipharm Labs. I'm going to try to get everything in. I'm going to make 2 videos, so this will be my part 1 series, so stay tuned. And then I'm going to do a part 2 series. I'm just driving back to work. I got to go back to work tonight, but I was just in town. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell down below, give me thumbs up. I do truly appreciate it. I also want to disclose I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment, information purposes. You do not buy or sell based on anything I talk about. Buy or sell after you did your research, your due diligence, and you like the investments you're pursuing. Yeah, you're just gonna have to bear with me. I drive a little fast and I got my radar detector on, so it might be beeping here and there, but cops are out here, right? Like, so I saw some cops the other day when I was on the bus going to work, so I just don't want to get a $300 or $500 fine for speeding. So it goes off sometimes. But yeah, okay, so let's do this. Okay, so I want to talk about platinum. Platinum, in my last video I was talking about how I think it's undervalued, and that I think it's eventually going to go up because it's been higher than gold, and gold's around 1550. It went up to I think 1560 today. And yeah, I was also talking about silver, about how silver, I think, is the ratios pretty lopsided towards gold versus silver. So I mean, if you're holding, say, a gold stock, it'd probably be smarter to get into a silver stock now, because it looks as though the silver is going to take over the bullish run. Because, okay, so if it's 1550 and silver just hit $19, then that ratio is close to about 80, right? And the silver ratio to gold ratio is being, I think, around like 30 or something like that before. Now that's pretty low. So the basis is how many ounces get mined every year in gold is about 8 times more in silver than in gold. So there's not that much more silver, than there is gold. So it is a rare metal, right? It's not as common as copper or nickel or steel. So that's where it has its rarity. It's also very good for electrical conductivity. It's the best for electrical conductivity, not as well as it's also a hedge for precious metals, for stacking silver, for jewelry. It can use in solar panels as well. So there's a lot of host of reasons why silver is undervalued. Now, will it reach 8-to-1 versus gold's price? Probably not. But there's a good chance that it could hit 50 or 40 or 30 in the next year or so. So the way that I look at the gold and the silver is that back when they ran it up to about $2,000 gold, silver went to I don't know, like 40-50 or something like that, and that's a 40 ratio. I mean, I don't have my chart with you, I'm just talking, but silver's gone high before, and you know, it has a chance, even if it just hit a 60 ratio based on today's prices in gold, that would be around $25 to $26 for silver. So then you're talking about a 30% up from today's prices. So there's upside definitely with silver, there's upside with gold, and there's upside with platinum. But they can also go down. I can see that's gold going back down to, but we're in a really low interest rate, and you know, USA, there's lots of talks about USA doing a 1% interest rate cut come September 18th when the Fed meets. So that's gonna push more money into precious metals, and all the money in the bonds. People take the money out of their bonds and then they put it into precious metals as the dollar. So there's things of that nature as the dollar becomes weaker and weaker. So and around the globe, as they kind of weaken every currency. So not to mention that there could be a big boom in the future with solar panels, and you know, just there's a lot of confusion in the world. So just as a safety right now, so platinum is just, I think it wants to catch up to gold. I mean, it's probably gonna lag it by quite a bit. I mean, it's lagging. It's worth about 55 to 60% of what gold's worth, but it was worth 50% more once. So there's a chance that platinum could be worth more than gold in the next year or 2 or 3. Who knows, right? There's a lot more. I don't have enough time to explain this all in what I think of it all. But yeah. Anyways, and then nickel. Okay, nickel's been booming up because what it is Indonesia is banning exports of nickel, and Indonesia is the biggest producer of nickel. So you look at all that together. Excuse me. You add it all up. You know, you do the equation, and it bodes well for nickel. Not to mention, the nickel levels have been going down for quite a bit. You know, so if they're not going to export, it's going to make nickel rare. Excuse me. And sorry, as well as the easy money. So there's a good chance that nickel can keep going up. Sherritt's been having a pretty good run, but I want to see nickel go to $20,000 a ton. We'll see. Go up to about $10 to $15 a pound. I'd really like to see that. That'd be very good for Garibaldi, GGI, as well as my ownership in Sherritt. I believe Vale has a lot of nickel as well. Vale's a pretty big producer, so that's like a more safer play. But I don't have it with me. You guys can look into Vale. They're a big player. But yeah, now Medipharm Labs, they did they have some talks with Australian. So I bought 200 shares last week, and I just think that Medipharm Labs will go up. I mean, a lot of people are bullish, but I'm actually more bullish in the long term on Valens Growworks, but in the near term, I'm more bullish on Medipharm Labs, just because their revenues are a lot bigger. It's kind of the same mentality as in how Curaleaf is the leader in USA for revenues. Well, it's not the leader for revenues, but it's the leader for just market cap, and you know, just being known as the big player in cannabis in USA. But then the more profitable company is Trulieve. Okay, so you know, I like profitable companies. The more I'm learning about the space, I like really good profit margins, and Valence Growworks has way better profit margins, so that's good. All right, so that's kind of what I want to talk about. In this video, I'm going to talk in part 2, so stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. Keep compounding your info, listening to my lingo, and shaka. I'm going to try to do it. Shaka, hang loose. That's a surfing thing. And peace. I am out.